Hello BookTube, it's Louise from the Big Head Bookworm. Lovely to see you. Hope you are well. Hope you've had a fabulous day. I have had a very good day. Thank you very much for asking. It's been a lovely sunny day today. In fact, I've dried some clothes outside. Woohoo! Unfortunately, it's now gone into a bit of a grey, dull evening, which is why I've got lots of bright lights on. Otherwise, you wouldn't see me and you wouldn't see the books that I'm going to show you, which is the whole reason you're here, let's face it. What I'm going to do today is a departure for me. It's a unhaul. It's books that I am getting rid of. I need to clear out some space, so I've gone along very carefully looking at the books, looking at the titles, assessing my emotional resonance with them, because I have in the past given away books or got rid of books and then regretted it, and then either had to go out and get them again or sobbed into my pillow for the loss of that book. So I have been careful. I have felt with each book, do I want to get rid of this? And it has been a resounding yes. So here we go. So this is the first book I'm going to get rid of. This is The Secret River. There we go. The Secret River by Kate Glenville. It was shortlisted for the Man Booker Prize in 2006. Now, I don't know when I got this. I've had it for years. I have never read it. It is set in London 1806, and it is to do with a waterman on the River Thames. Life is tough but bearable, and then an awful thing happens, and it is a sad, sad tale. Very literary, very worthy, and a sad, sad tale. And I don't believe I've ever felt what I'd really like at this point is a sad, sad tale that's going to make me feel sad. So, Kate, it sounds like it's a cracking read and everybody says it's great. It's just not for me. So, this one is going. My next book is The 13th Apostle by Michelle Benoit. So, there we go. And it is a... what does it say? It is a captivating and thoroughly researched religious thriller comparable to Umberto Eco's The Name of the Rose. Now, I read The Name of the Rose and I thoroughly enjoyed The Name of the Rose, and I started this one, and I love a religious thriller. I love thrillers full stop, and I do love a religious thriller. And I like ones about the Bible, I like ones about the Vatican, I like all of that. I don't know whether it was the translation, whether this is actually translated. It doesn't actually say it's translated. It could well be, couldn't it? I see now that he's a religious scholar as well. Not good, not good. I got probably about 50, 60 pages in and I thought, I'm wasting my life away reading this. It's got to go. Then there's The Serpent Papers by Jessica Cornwell. Now, I got this from a charity bookshop. Oh, that's a bit shiny, isn't it? Oh, we don't want that. There we are. Ooh, shiny. Serpent Papers by Jessica Cornwell. I got this before Christmas in a charity shop, and I think it's going straight back to a charity shop. I started reading it. It is a ancient manuscript is found, lots of power, alchemy, all the things I like. It's just really tedious. And I got it again I hit my limit of about 50 pages. I wasn't enjoying it. And what I found was the tone was difficult. The tone was knowing, as though I know stuff and it's going to be creepy. And I just didn't get on with it. I'm sure it's great. It's the first book in the trilogy, but there's just no way I'm going to carry on reading this because I got irritated within the first 50 pages. And I frankly didn't care. Jessica, off you go. Next one is called The Raft by Annabella Edge. Now, I was bought this for a birthday present about 8-9 years ago. Ooh, quite a while, as you can see. And it is a book that is based on, this is a very famous painting called The Raft of Medusa. It's a novel set in 1818. I started reading it. It's one of those things that either you will be captivated from the first page or you're just not going to be. I'm just not. Bye-bye. Next one is Liberty Silk by Kate Beaufoy. And I got this for £2.60. Now, I picked this up. I was really pleased when I picked this up because I had seen it recommended on Twitter by Marion Keyes. And I was like, oh, I love Marion Keyes. She's a great person. I seem to, her books, a bit hit and miss, but mainly hit. So I thought, oh, definitely I'll read this. And she was raving about it. I saw it in charity bookshop or yeah, was it charity? It must have been Charity Bookshop, and I was really pleased. And it is a adult fiction, not adult as in racy, but adult fiction. 3 women all affected by this one dress. Obviously, it's Liberty silk dress in London, I gather, and it spans the ages. Started reading it, and it just oof. And then I realised that Kate is a big chum of Marian Keyes. Now, I know that Marian Keyes is a reputable gal and wouldn't just be recommending it because her chum wrote it, but I'm not her chum, and it wasn't my kind of book. So, Kate, Marian, sorry. Similar. Now, this is actually a book club book, and I rarely give away book club books that I've read because I feel they're part of my history, because I can look back and actually normally remember the evening or the afternoon that we discussed it in the various book clubs I've been in, and I normally have an emotional resonance to the book, even if it's not one I particularly loved. This one, however, irritates me. Now, I chose this one. It was a lovely evening that we all got together and chatted about it. Maggie O'Farrell, Instructions for a Heat Wave. It was everywhere when I recommended this for our book club. It was everywhere. It was, it just saturated, and I thought, oh, it's really good. It got really good rave reviews in all the papers and in social media, and I just thought, oh, this will be really good. And it's July 1976, and London is the grip of a heat wave. It hasn't rained for months, and it is this. Robert goes to tells his wife Greta he's going to go round the corner to buy a newspaper, but he doesn't come back. The search for Robert brings Greta's children, 2 estranged sisters and a brother on the brink of divorce, back home. And it's set in London, and it's got Irish history as well. So it's all very good. Like 70s books, like interesting family sagas. God, I found it tedious. I read the whole thing. No, I did find it dull. And what really irritated me is when I went back and looked at it, all the people that had been recommending it are chums of Maggie O'Farrell. Now, Maggie O'Farrell, fantastic writer. I've read some of her other books, really enjoyed them. But she is connected in the industry. And I'm not a cynic. I'm a cynic. But I think this is friends recommending in Friends. But I think it's a bit cheeky when it's in kind of print media and what have you. And I know I should expect it because I was a bookseller for years, and so I saw a little bit how the industry works. And of course, you scratch my back, I scratch your back. But this book did not in any way, shape or form deserve the hype that it got and all the adulation. It was not everything that they cracked up to be. It just wasn't. And every time I look at it, I go, "Argh," and it irritates me. So I'm sorry, Maggie. I don't need any more instructions for a heat wave. Goodbye. This is my other book club book that I'm getting rid of. Cara Black, Murder in the Marais. It's a crime thriller set in Paris, modern day. I just didn't really get on with it. I read it, it was fine. I just didn't really get on with it, and I'm never going to read it again. And I thought it was a bit silly. In fact, I thought it was very silly, and I need more space. Sorry, no. So, last two books are non-fiction. We've got Robert Twigger, Angry White Pyjamas. This is non-fiction. This is a kind of memoir of when he was in Tokyo and he wanted to shake up his life. He was feeling all terrible, and he started taking some sort of Japanese martial art. He joins the Tokyo Riot Police on their year-long, brutally demanding course. I found it really dull. I didn't care. I didn't care how white his pyjamas were or how angry they were. I got about, again, 50 pages in and I thought, Robert, ugh. So that's going. And the last book, I'm going to have to cover the title. I don't like the title. It's Run, Fat, Run. It's, that's shiny, isn't it? Ruth Field, the only personal training you'll ever need. I'm going to put that down because of that rude word. I've run half marathons. I don't know why I bought it, and I bought it when I was a runner. And I've run half marathons, and I've run all the. I haven't run a full marathon, but I've run all the other distances, and I don't need somebody telling me to run. Bitch. Right. I just thought it was just one of those. I read it, and I think she did a blog. Did she do a blog? I think it's a book from a blog. And perhaps it was very profound, and she got a huge following when she was doing the blog, and it was all great, but it just wasn't for me. And every time I see it again, it irritates me, and I'm happy to let that one go. So there we go. I don't know how many books there are. Looks like about 10. And they're going. I have assessed my emotional temperature, and I'm quite happy to let those go and find new homes by people that will appreciate them far more than I am. And there we go. Are there any books lingering in your home that could go? Or are you somebody that can just give away and pass on? I know a couple of people, and they just read and pass on, and I'm impressed. Personally, couldn't do it, but I do love that. And I know other people, my husband, who will never let anything go. So I'm somewhere in the middle. I'm somewhere in the middle. Okay, off we go. It's been lovely, BookTube. A sheer pleasure, as always, and I hope to see you again. Bye.